This is a wholesome story about how Brad Garlinghouse from XRP Ripple and Mike Novogratz from Galaxy helped save MoonPay during the Trump coin crisis weekend. You got to watch this. I love this.
You just told me a crazy story that is linked to one of my previous podcast guests, Mike Novogratz. Can we go deeper into that?
Can I give you the a little bit longer version?
Yeah,
absolutely. I gave you a very abbreviated version, which was Ivan and I have been going for. My phone starts blowing up, hundreds of texts. Everyone is like, Trump just launched a meme coin, and it went to $4.6 billion in like an hour. I don't know. We had a meeting the next morning at 8 a.m. The whole goal was we wanted to have the meeting, and then we were going to finally take a break for the whole day. We were just going to relax. We finished the meeting. We had breakfast. We're going through sort of what we need to do to follow up. And then we walk back to the hotel. I'm so happy to go back in. We get a call. Mona calls, who's our CFO, and says, Keith, Ivan, we have a problem. Trump coin is so popular. And because the Trump team directed it towards Moonshot, and we had no clue that this was even going in. MoonPay has the exclusive rails in Moonshot. The volumes were just gigantic. All of the liquidity that we use to sort of wire the crypto to sell the crypto, was locked in BlackRock accounts in a traditional finance sort of manner. And it's Saturday of a holiday weekend during the inauguration. So we have no access to our capital. All of the reserves that we have are dwindling really fast. Well, Mona, how much money do we need to raise? And she's like, it's not money. We need crypto to be able to buy this, right? We need USDC. How much do we need? She goes, I'm doing the math at the current rate, $50 million by midnight tonight, 11 o'clock in the morning. Okay. And Ivan's like, okay, are we sure? She does the math again. She's like, honestly, the rate that this token is growing and the demand that we're seeing, $100 million. We have to find $100 million by when? Midnight tonight. By the way, we know that on Tuesday we can pay it all back because we have the money in the bank. It's just we have no access to it. So I text Mike, I'm sorry to bother you on the weekend. Do you have a minute to chat? Within a minute, he texts back. We get on the phone with him, and Ivan and I explain the situation. And Mike says, well, guys, I like you both. I like the team. It's good for the space. How much do you need? $100 million in USDC. Mike goes, okay, no problem. Let me see what I can do. Whole conversation, 2 minutes. Yeah. 5 minutes later, we get a call from Mike's team, the team at Galaxy, absolutely amazing. So we start scrambling, the finance team, everyone's scrambling to get all the forms going. Later in the day, it turns out that we get a call. They can't confirm that the funds are real because it's a Saturday and no one at BlackRock is picking up the phone call. And they can't confirm if they're liens. And so fortunately, Lindsay Haswell, our chief legal officer, sits on the board of BlackRock's ETF. She's calling her friends at BlackRock. We get someone who can confirm the funds. Chris over at Galaxy calls up and he's like, guys, hand on heart, give me your word though. You have no liens on these funds. In the meantime, after we gave our word, they asked Ivan to personally pledge his entire life, his entire personal net worth on the line for this loan. Not even a discussion. Signs away, pledges his entire life. We call Ivan's sisters up, goes to his house to access a computer, get some Bitcoin to liquidate, and he's liquidating his personal Bitcoin and sending it to MoonPay to make sure that we stay up and running. And finally at 11 o'clock at night, the money comes through, $100 million. So I go to sleep at 1 o'clock in the evening. And at that point, Trump coin was, I think, $30 billion. I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and I'm thinking to myself, finally, a day that I could rest. And I look at my phone and Trump coin is $70 billion. And I look at my computer. There's a Slack message from our head of product, JD. Ivan, Keith, what you did yesterday was amazing. But if we don't raise another $60 million today, we're going to run out of money by tomorrow morning. At the rate that we're going, this thing is just picking up.
Just if you concretely run out of money, what does it mean?
When people try to buy crypto with MoonPay, it just says, sorry, it doesn't work. We had 750,000 registrations, right? So I'm giving you the perspective of Ivan and I raising capital, but at the same time, the operations team is working nonstop. The Melania's sort of launch happened at the same time. It essentially was the equivalent of a DDoS attack on MoonPay's servers, right? Because it was just everything coming full force. Ivan comes running over to my room in his bathrobe. And so Ivan goes, you know who I could text? You know who I think could come through is Brad Garlinghouse. So Ivan texts Brad at 7 in the morning. Brad responds immediately. He says, no problem, guys. Meet me at the Waldorf Astoria at 10:45 in the morning. And Ivan goes into explaining to him, yesterday Novogratz gave us $100 million. We underestimated this demand of this Trump token. And Brad goes, well, listen, same thing as Mike. I'm going to call our CFO and chief legal officer, see what we can do. Here's the deal. We want to help you, but you got to get Novo's team to approve it, which is fair. They helped us out the night before, and it was the right thing. To Galaxy's team's credit, they're like, listen, guys, if they repaper everything, you're never going to make your deadline at the end of the day. It was like 5 o'clock at night. What we suggest is, why doesn't Ripple wire the money to Galaxy, and then Galaxy can wire the money to MoonPay? And at 11:58 on Sunday, another $60 million comes through. Monday comes around and the acquirers start to pay us back from the floats in Europe, but it's still a holiday in the US. Tuesday comes around, like we have access to our capital again. All of the US acquirers start to pay us back. And by Tuesday, I think around 2:58 in the afternoon, we paid back the entire loan. What I walked away from was, these are just two amazing individuals. To the level that, like, when you said that you had Novogratz on your podcast and you spoke to him, if Mike or Brad ever needed a kidney, I should be the first call they give. I would give both of my kidneys. To put into context how big the Trump coin was and the Melania coin was and how it impacted MoonPay, over the course of a week, we onboarded 750,000 new consumers. That was my weekend, which was, I hope. And then I go back to New York for 2 days and fly here to Istanbul. Okay. And
Tell us the story.
to tell you the story. This is the first time I've told the story publicly.
Like, follow, and subscribe for more. Wealth, love, and authenticity to you all.